Hey, a little thing you're gonna notice on the thumbnail to this video, which is the thing that you're seeing right now. It is not actually the cover of White Pony that is half. That's not actually the cover that you see on Spotify. You'll see a color, an outline of a pony in all white. That is the right one. You did not accidentally get the deluxe edition. You're all good.
Yes.
This would be Raes musical reviews.
This is
under the umbrella of Go Home Heat Productions.
under like it,
What are we reviewing today, Ray?
we are, as you can see by the thumbnail, we are reviewing Tool's Anima versus Deftones' White Pony. Deftones are like technically new metal, but like not.
They're like new metal adjacent, I would say.
I
They have bits of their songs, especially on this album.
It's
that
weirdly
dream pop is a genre that they get into
dream
quite a
pop
bit.
vocals with new metal instrumentals,
It's an interesting, very
which
interesting
weirdly
mix of styles.
works.
It works far more than I kind of thought it would.
Right, it's like when the dude made the Grey album, when he mixed Jay-Z's rapping and the instrumental from the Black album and the instrumentals from Beatles' White album, and it weirdly worked strangely well.
Dude, I've seen several remixes of Jay-Z's music.
Dude, that also that Grey album thing, that also got him a job to produce Gorillaz Demon Days.
That's rad. That's rad as heck. I love that.
They had turntables on
But
this White Pony album.
It's become weirdly socially norm to just crap on new metal fans, which I don't agree with. I actually think it's quite gross and classist. I don't know.
Gross and classist to crap on metal fans?
Yeah,
New metal
fans.
Ah. Metal fans being the aristocracy.
Yes, metal fans are in fact the ones that crap on new metal fans.
Right. Okay.
It's
So now I
like
got it.
what Justin
Dude,
always
metal
said.
fans are some of the most aggressive.
Yeah, it's like what
fans when it
Justin
comes
always
to- yeah.
says.
How odd, considering what they listen to.
Nobody hates metal fans more than other metal fans.
Right.
It's like Weezer fans.
Right.
No one hates
And it's-
Weezer like
it's
Weezer
timeless.
fans.
It's
Timeless.
timeless because at one point, Axl Rose was on a radio show with Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
And he said, Chris, to break the ice, says, anybody that comes on this show, it's Eddie Trunk's That Metal Show. Or That Metal Show version on the radio. It's his New York City radio show. Anybody that comes on this show has to answer one question. Maiden or priest? Doesn't matter what Axl said. What matters is immediately I have to know whether you're a Maiden fan or a Priest fan. You can't be both. It's Maiden or Priest. It's the first thing we have to know, because then we know how to address you for the rest of this episode. So anyway, you were going to say, what we want to get into.
How did I get to this comparison?
Correct.
Yes.
Well, I've just been noticing that people are doing a more Deftones versus Tool arguments on across various YouTube platforms, Twitter.
This week, the Deftones announced they're going
Yes,
to reissue
today.
this record.
Today.
Really?
Today.
They must have known we were coming.
Hold on. The day of this recording, June 20th, it is actually White Pony's 20th anniversary.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
Look at that. Now, what brought you to the Tool record?
Yeah, the same thing.
The same thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
the same thing. Tool versus Deftones, yeah.
Now, the way we do this is we answer
Yes,
questions
the way we
about
do this,
them, and then
answer questions. You probably know the deal by now.
Mm-hmm. Better opening track.
Stinkfist.
Stinkfist, yeah. The Tool opening track. I just think it kind of sets up the rest of the album in a really good way.
I
Just
don't
talking
think
about the themes of it, at least.
I think Back to School is fine, is good for what it is, but it doesn't really suit it's a lot more new metal than the rest of the album,
Yeah, it has.
which I guess is why it was used as a single, so it would bring people in.
Yeah, I
get
remember
people
hearing
by.
that people were not incredibly happy about the direction that some of the songs take, music style-wise, on this album. Because it wasn't just like new metal-ish.
But it has lasted.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, absolutely.
It has aged much better than most things that kept new metal. Limp Bizkit, Crazy Town.
Whoa. Crazy Town?
Yeah, the dudes who made Butterfly.
Stay away from Crazy Town, man.
They're like really bad.
That's a really crazy fan base, Crazy Town has. Just stay away from that. Okay.
Oh
Better
my
closing
God.
track.
I hate. Better closing track. Pink Maggot. We're on the version that does close with Pink Maggot.
Yes.
There might be a couple confusions there.
Well, let's say this. Would Change be better than Third Eye as well?
I would say Third Eye if it's up against Pink Maggot, but Change in the House of Flies is really good.
I'd probably still go Pink Maggot. By the time it ended, I didn't even realize. Whoa, 7 minutes.
I love the like sprawling epic of Third Eye.
Third Eye is incredibly emotionally like.
It's really good, and it's just kind of out there in very positive ways. Positive qualities, I mean, not like positive because it's kind of negative, but you know what I mean.
What's your favorite track on White Pony?
For track on White Pony, definitely Change in the House of Flies.
Change in the House of Flies, for sure.
That's just such a good song.
But I do want to give a shout out to.
I want to give a shout out to Knife Party.
I was gonna say Knife Party. I like
Digital
Knife Party.
Bath. The one
after
Back to School. How do you pronounce it?
Fetisseria?
Fetisseria. That
Fetisseria.
sounds right.
Pretty much every track except for like Korea.
Don't like Korea.
Well, no, I liked it. It's just we'll get into that later.
Yes.
Least favorite track on White Pony?
Okay, yeah, Korea. To me, Korea was kind of the only song where it wasn't perfectly. The vibe wasn't perfectly caught.
I did not enjoy Digital Bath all that much.
Really?
In all honesty. It was a song about electrocuting someone, and that's about all I got from it. I like the music, but the lyrics and subject matter on this album did not speak to me in
The
most
Tool
ways.
record, what was your least favorite song?
Least favorite song on the Tool album?
Mm-hmm.
Do instrumentals count?
You can use
You
any
got-
one of those intros if you would like to.
Instrumentals?
Whatever you
Probably
call it.
every instrumental after intermission. Except for Die Ihr von Satan. So,
That
Eons.
one technically has lyrics, but
so Eon. Well, I think Die Ihr von Satan is... okay, so it's really funny.
yeah,
the lyric,
I read the
lyrics.
what the lyrics are about.
okay, Die Ihr von Satan is one of the creepiest tracks I have ever listened to. Right?
It's over like a reversed drum beat, and it's just like like a German man just like yelling, and there's like crowd noises piped in the background.
Feels
too.
like
it
it's
sounds like
ripped-
a Nazi rally.
Yeah, it sounds like it's ripped straight out of Nazi Germany.
and it like even
And-
the title
and
is,
you
it's
know
just like it has Satan in the title. It's like well,
And
what's
you know
up?
what? This Die Ihr von Satan... So Die Ihr von Satan is actually a form of cookie known as the Devil's Balls.
That's what it is.
And
The lyrics are the
They're
recipe.
just the recipe.
That's just what
like,
the song is.
it's-
It's a recipe for cookies, and it sounds so demonic and just like evocative of Nazi imagery, and it's just cookies. I do like the like it's just like people would listen to it and they're just like, oh my god, are these guys like skinheads or something? Like what is up with the? They're
Right.
talking about all this
Yes.
crazy stuff, and there's like German yelling.
Add sugar.
And
Okay,
it's
if we're
like,
gonna go-
add
if-
sugar and flour.
Yeah, right.
If we're gonna go to the...
No sugar in these cookies. Actually, that's a big standout.
Right. Now,
Okay, if we're gonna go to instrumentals that I liked, I quite liked Harry Man Back and I like 3 Harry Man Back, instrumental, and Die Ihr von Satan.
okay, now what was your favorite track on Tool?
Oh, did we even say our least favorite track?
You were saying all the ones that were...
Every Cesaro Ability and Eons. I did not like. What is Cesaro Ability? What is that?
It was weird. It was weird.
It was unneeded. Probably Useful Idiot too, but Useful Idiot was kind of used to troll people who bought the album on vinyl.
Yeah, I remember
Right.
reading on that too, because it's just like the sound of the record player, just like
Well, the more you're gonna learn about Tool, because Jared's not very fluent in Tool.
no, I know very little about Tool.
The more you're gonna learn about Tool, the more you're gonna realize they are a troll band.
I feel
They
like-
are.
I don't know. There's like 4 songs on here that are just like half jokes, or like completely jokes.
Okay, what was your least favorite album on song on?
I didn't actually. One of the elements of this album that I liked less was the comedic stuff. I didn't like Message to Harry Manback. I just feel like because I like the serious elements of this album so much that the funny parts just like stood out to me as like, man, it's just like throwing that in the middle of there. Like you follow up 46 and 2 with Message to Harry Manback.
Well, I think that's just kind of to like soften the vibe a little.
It's a palate cleanser.
A palate cleanser.
That's fair. That is fair.
I think the comedic elements.
I don't know what you could follow
Because
46 and 2 with, because that song is
This
wild.
is one of the only albums Tool has that. Okay, if we're comparing this to like Lateralis, this is a lot more rage induced, and I feel like to help kind of calm the rage down, you need the more comedic elements
That's fair.
of it.
That's absolutely fair.
This is kind of Tool at their most whimsical.
What's your favorite track?
Man, this is so hard. From Tool, this is so hard. There's so many songs I really, really like. I would argue
H
H for sure. H might be
the
number one.
self-titled track, Anima. The
Anima?
title track, that's probably my favorite.
If I had to pick 3, it would be H, 46 and 2, and Jimmy. I love Jimmy. Jimmy's so good.
I will give a special shout out to Hook. I like it because I can specifically image the guy who he is talking about in Hook.
Yes.
You know what I'm.
Yes.
You know
we know what song I'm talking about.
Yeah, Hook. I can vividly picture him, and it is totally a song that Metallica should have covered in Garage Inc. for because they sold out.
Now
I like the message of that song where he's just like, dog, I sold out when I signed a record deal. There was never a point where you heard me and I wasn't sold out.
right.
And that doesn't matter.
The point was never to stay in my. The point was never to stay in my garage. The point was
The fact that you heard me at all.
to get a message to people that I'm trying to send you, and I can't do that without a record company helping me.
Speaking
Especially
of,
back then, right?
Speaking of hearing something, Dad, did you buy either of these albums when they came out?
I bought the Tool album when it came out.
Nice.
I did not have the Deftones, but we played it a lot at work anyway, so it didn't really matter. Actually, both these albums.
Didn't you were talking about like they played Tool a lot?
They did at in the kitchen I worked in at one time. They played Tool quite a bit, and
Like nonstop.
every night, all through the rush, they played it all the time.
All the time.
And at one point, I guess I might as well. I guess you're wanting me to tell the story. So I'm working there, and I like Tool. I owned multiple Tool records, CDs, and they're playing it, and they're like, "Okay, well, what do you want to play? What do you want to play now?" And I said, "Can we listen to anything but Tool?" Because we had heard it like literally all week during the rush, and you know, Tool is a. If you're busy and he's doing what he's doing, it can be a little hair raising in a way.
Absolutely.
And so that turned into I hated Tool. So then when anybody went to put Tool on for the rest of the time I worked there, it would be, well, hold on. Perkins doesn't like Tool. You can't put that down. I didn't say I didn't like Tool. What I was saying was listening to Tool every single night from 6 to 11 is getting a little overwhelming while I'm trying to make food for other people. They didn't want to hear that, though.
No.
I hated Tool.
You're just known as the guy who hates Tool.
I guarantee you there are people who worked with me there that when they see me will say, I don't know much about that guy. I know he hates Tool.
Hates Tool.
Hates Tool. And I actually do not. I actually like Tool very much. But better lead vocalist here.
Maynard James Keenan.
I made this question. I still don't know the answer.
I just like him because he reminds me. I mean, the whole Tool in general reminds me of prog rock in all the ways I really enjoy. The kind of like spacey, long, sprawling epics of songs about weird stuff. And Maynard James Keenan has like a high pitched voice, which I think adds a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I just like him a lot.
Right now, what did you like best there about since you don't know for sure? What did you like best about Chino's performance?
I think it was very hypnotizing.
Hypnotic,
Whatever.
I like it. I like it.
I'd say Chino's a better singer than Maynard,
That's fair.
but Maynard's. I guess I'll give it to Chino because the entire Deftones is rest. Well, the same thing can be said for Tool. I'll probably go.
You were going to say that Deftones revolves around Chino's voice. And you were going to say that maybe the same thing can be said for Tool.
Yeah.
Which I would contradict. The reason being that, although I feel like what Maynard does is very unique, and I feel like he is absolutely, you associate that noise that comes out of his face with Tool, I think what drives Tool's sound is the percussion. And I feel like that is a band, if you listen to every Tool record, that is a band full of virtuosos. And you don't have that a lot in music where the bass player, he's top whatever percent. The drummer might be the best in the world. The guitarist is top, 25. The singer is a sound that cannot be duplicated. And you have all of that in one band. And that's very unique. And to me, when you listen to Tool, it is always a crescendo and then a violent sound, and then a crescendo and a violent sound, and it is the drum that drives that noise forward and louder. Whereas with Deftones, the soft and loud all revolves around Chino's face
Yes.
and what he makes noise. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so then I'd probably say Chino.
Okay.
I'd probably go Deftone.
All right, now what do we think production-wise?
The production is also a thing that makes White Pony. Deftones. Right?
But you're saying it.
Right. Cause
What did you think?
I was not the world's biggest fan of White Pony. I thought it was okay, but I just didn't connect with it in a lot of ways. So I'm just definitely slated towards Tool in most aspects.
Okay.
Because, again, Tool was right up my alley, dude. Right there.
Right. Now, here's a couple of things about both records before we get into which album do we like more, which I think you alluded to, which album you would like more. Both won Grammys for Best Metal Performance. But the Tool record, Kerrang magazine had it as the 6th most influential album ever. I'm assuming that's a metal genre, right? This is
Probably,
wiki
yes.
stuff I looked up. Rhythm magazine voted the greatest drumming album ever.
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 Of all time.
Ever in the history of progressive rock.
Yeah.
Was
Which, dude, that might as well be just ever.
Yeah. Right, because that's what progressive rock is,
Like,
right?
are you kidding me?
Drum
Like,
forward, right. Now the
just virtuoso after virtuoso, Don Sean.
right. Now Guitar magazine voted it the 14th best guitar album of all time. That's pretty.
That's pretty good.
So when you say the Deftones didn't grab me like the Tool one did, well, yeah, that Tool record it's up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
With people who
It's
like to think they know about these
proficiency.
things.
Yeah,
Correct.
the proficiency.
Also, we forgot to mention there is a song that has Maynard James Keaton on White Pony.
Oh, yeah, that was
Absolutely.
one of my favorite songs, Passenger.
And it's
I love the vibe of it.
to me that was my favorite song on the record, and it was probably because I thought to myself, sounds like Tool.
Maynard James Keenan.
But I do
Yes,
like Change. I think everybody likes Change. That was like near radio during that time period.
I love the imagery of Change.
Oh yeah. Well, and two, when you have Maggots earlier in the album, and then change into a fly.
Yes.
But it's not the old caterpillar butterfly either.
No.
No, it's maggot to a fly, which is a
No.
totally different
I love the
evolution.
imagery of like taking off your wings in my mind. Like you're just they're becoming like an angel, and you're removing their wings, and then they turn into a fly.
Right.
Or, like that's the imagery that I saw in my mind.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Like you
absolutely.
replace your wings with another set of wings, but
Yeah.
angel to a fly.
Right. Correct. Now, what you got? Which record did you like better? Ray.
I'd say I'd have to be in a mood depending on which one. Because if I'm going to listen to Tool, I'm probably just going to just make time out of my day to listen to the Tool album. But if I want I could just run up that new Doom game right then,
Yes.
put on the Deftones, and just...
Oh, 100%. 100%. I agree completely.
It's just... By the way, that new Doom game, Doom Eternal, it is really good.
To me, Tool, and it doesn't matter what album you're talking about, is a mental ride that you get on.
I feel like I'm there with him.
Right? And that's why I don't listen to them all that much, to be totally honest with you, because I'm not always that willing to dive into something. Now, the new record that they just put out,
Fear Not Kill?
I've listened to that probably 30 times, and I don't know that I could tell you anything about the record, because when I'm listening to it, I just drift off, and I just go with wherever, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's a great little, very long songs that, like we said earlier, they're the evolution of a jam band in a way that is uncommon. You know, you compared them a little bit to Rush earlier on, and I think it's a fantastic record. We all agree both records are fantastic, but for this, to me, this isn't close, and to you, it's not close. Now,
No.
last time, the Blur thing was close for me and not for you guys, but you thought it was very close. Is that right?
I'd have to say that
You
I
actually
liked Tool
you
as an album better.
but you would be more, but you're more apt to listen to the Deftones.
Yeah.
It's a little more fun.
I could probably pick like 4 songs and put them in like a different playlist from the Deftones album, but if I don't think I could pick any single song from
How about
The
all of
Tool
the
album.
interludes?
Yeah, that's one thing too. That is one thing about Tool
Dude,
too.
some
is,
of those interludes, man, some of them were just...
like we said last week too, Tool writes albums. They don't write songs. You know what I mean? Like there's a message going through a whole thing. Like you were saying, they have something put in here to cleanse the palate, to prepare you for the next journey you're going to go on, which is the next track, right?
Yeah.
Which you don't get necessarily with other things. So we're good, right?
Yes.
You're going to go kill people on Doom?
Listening to
People or...
Chino. It's
listening-
Demons, bro.
Chino's Demons?
Dude.
I like it, Ray.
but
Not in.
it was a Tool one by overwhelming amount.
I'm going to go listen to Germans talk about cake. Should be a good time.
Yes.
Should be a good time. Yes. Okay. What will next week's episode be?
Next week's episode is, in fact, going to be 2 of some of my favorite albums of all time. Weezer's Blue Album versus Weezer's Pinkerton.
Weezer-centric episode.
Weezer-centric episode. So for us, Ray,
Yeah.
Jared,
You,
Me.
you,
Jared.
me, KP. Copyright
And me.
2020. What do you got to say, Ray?
See you next time.